Okay, if you need to set up your application in esnaps and you have not already, you can use this webinar to guide you through that process. You begin by logging into esnaps, typing in your username and password. We've already done that for this application. And clicking log in, and hopefully it'll log in a little faster than this. Once logged in, you should always check your applicant profile to make sure it is up to date. Most of you have already done this, so you can skip this step, but if you have not, go in and make sure that it's up to date. Next, click on Funding Opportunity Registrations. This is where you'll create the folder for your application this year. So all of you are renewal applications. So you'll go and click on the paper with the red check mark here by Renewal Project Application FY 2013. Once you do that, then the system knows you're creating a folder, and you just click Yes. That's really all you have to do in that section. Then you click Back, and you go next to Projects. You can see here that you have an applicant registered. Go to Projects. Now, projects that are agencies that have more than one application will go through that step the appropriate number of times. In Projects, this is where you'll create the name for your folder. You're not going to see it here. You're going to see old applications or old APRs. So what you'll do is use the drop-down menu for Funding Opportunity Name. Click on the FY 2013 option. You won't see anything here because you haven't created it. You need to click on the piece of paper with the orange plus sign, and then you'll put Add Project. Now this project is Rustic House, so we'll type in Rustic House, and you should always put 2013 or the year for which you are applying in the name so it's easy for you to find as you move forward. In this case, I'm going to put FY 2013. I'll click Save and Back. The system will allow you to put in some notes if you want, and you can do that here by clicking on the magnifying glass. The notes are just something that you can use to help guide you through the process later or help you identify which grant you're going to work with, but you don't have to use the notes. Click Back. Then the next step is to go to Submissions. Once you get to Submissions, you're not going to see anything right off the bat, so you should always use your filters. Go to your applicant project name, and you look for the one that says Fiscal Year 2013. Click on it, hit Filter, and then you should see it below. And see, you can see here it is. This is where you'll do all your work from this point forward on this application. Click on the orange folder, and you'll begin working on your application in esnaps. There's only one other thing to do to make sure you bring as much of the information over from last year's grant as possible, and that's to click on Application Type, and you're going to need to make sure you have the correct grant number or federal award identifier from last year. So you can get this from last year's application, or you can get this from your award letter. Your award letter is your best source for this. In this case, I've already copied that identifier, and I'm going to paste it here now. That's all I believe I can click on in this section. So I'll click Save and Next. And then the next few pages just has some basic information that you can update if you need to, if anything has changed, or if, say, your congressional district has changed or anything like that. But most of these pages do not have anything to input. You can see a lot of these you cannot even click in these, so you'll just proceed on to the next page as you input everything you need to. You can see here that it does not have the state listed, so of course you need to put the state. And it looks like everything else is good. Now your applicant will need to put the congressional district. If your project's in a different congressional district or multiple congressional districts, you need to put that here. Also make sure to put your start date and end date here. In this case, it is April 2014 to May 2015. I'll let the project applicant put that in. And then in these sections, you can't put in anything. So just make sure you put the correct start date and end date. And that will help to bring in over the information from last year. As you input the data you need to, just keep proceeding forward. You are all subject to Executive Order 12-372, but I don't believe anyone will be selected by the state for review, so click on that. And then indicate whether or not you are in federal debt. Hopefully you are not. In this case, we're going to say no. Click Next. Then the next step is that you declare that everything is correct. I'm not going to do that for this applicant. They can do that when they start working on it. But once you click on that and you click Save and Next, then you should see a lot more pages show up. So this is the way to get started with this project application in esnaps. As always, call us if you have questions or set up a TA time with us through the Doodle poll that we sent a week or two ago.